Hello, Velikos here, and today I have a rather simple mod for the GMMK Pro. Now, all you would need for this mod are the additional stock gaskets that they provide, an M2 8mm screw, and a spacer of some kind. For myself, I 3D printed a spacer that is 0.5 millimeters thick and will sit inside the inner edge of the case for it to rest upon. This ensures that I do not compress the case too much when screwing down the top of the case. I find that when one is doing this mod, it provides an easy point of reference for which to stop tightening the screws. You only want to tighten the screws to the point that they just begin to tighten. You will need to be a little bit careful with this mod though, because if you don't tighten it enough, this volume knob will not depress. So I do find that if that is the case, a simple quarter turn of the screw is enough to accomplish that and allow it to depress again. So, in order, I'm going to be showing a sound test of the GMMK Pro stock, then only with the screws and spacer, then with the added gaskets and the screws and spacer, and then finally with the added gaskets, the screws and spacer, and the case foam removed. I would like to say that I will not be providing the best sound tests, as I do not have high quality sound equipment, and so it is not representative, but it will provide at least a simple idea as to the benefits this mod might confer. And if you are wondering which keycaps these are, I will be noting these in the description. Additionally, there has been a 6.5 decibel reduction in the video because there's rather a lot of ambient sound because I'm only using a headset microphone. With that, please enjoy, and I will return after the break. And we're back. Having heard the mods, what do you think? Personally, I prefer the GMMK Pro with the gaskets, the new screws, and the spacer. I believe that, in my personal preference, this keyboard could be further improved with the addition of foams from Stupid Fish, which are precision cut to be used for both the plate and under the case. Now, as to why I added the spacer, originally I had thought to use this because, and my math is probably off here, the plate, or at least the aluminum plate, is 1.5 millimeters thick. The stock gaskets, when I measured them, were 1.5 millimeters thick. This means that if the top of the case is fully compressing this down, then you only have 0.5 millimeters of wiggle room, which is a 96.6% compression rate. So, bearing this in mind, I added the additional gaskets, which are 1 millimeter each, and using a spacer that was 0.5 millimeters thick, that provided a compression rate of 0.375 millimeters, or about 15%. I had originally hit on this number because as I was researching sorbethane, which I had initially stated I was going to be using as a gasket material, I found that they recommend a compression rate between 3 and 20%. Given that sorbethane is so expensive already, I thought perhaps it might be possible to achieve similar results with stock gaskets and the appropriate amount of compression. Now, all this said, you do not need a purpose-built spacer for this mod. If you would like, you can find something that is of similar thickness and only use it as a reference when screwing down each case screw. Using that, you will be able to get the appropriate amount of tightening on each screw, and we'll be able to remove the spacing material afterwards. If anybody would like to print these spacers themselves, I will provide, or rather I will upload them to Thingiverse, and if you happen to have a 3D printer, you may print them for yourself, and I will provide the parameters for printing these spacers that I used. They were not always precisely 0.5 millimeters. It was always a few hundredths of a millimeter off, but I don't think that matters so much in the grand scheme of things. Anyway, I hope this has been helpful, and see you in the next one.